oh fuck, you know.
I also had I had one of those overwhelming moments where you read something in video game news and you realize that you don't understand it, so you have to actually go and understand it. This is how Heroes of the Storm happened for Pat. So you see that PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is now the number one game on Twitch.
How did I know you were going to talk about Unknown Battlegrounds?
Yeah.
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I had a feeling that was about to come up because I'm like, this is the one thing that I think we've addressed once or twice. And it's been like,
if
this happened in the background, first-person shooters or survival games, whatever that whole genre happened in the background while we continued trucking on.
Vinny was on the podcast and now was like, what do you mean you don't know what it is?
Now it's the biggest thing ever, and it's like, great, that's a genre none of us played or looked at.
Well, I do play first-person shooters.
If this happened like a year ago when we were really going hard on Arena of Fate and Battle Guys and all those fucking stupid names, if someone had said, you know what, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds will blow the fuck up, we'd be like, haha, whatever, that name is stupid, who cares?
No, but
because it's such a bad shitty name.
No, but if you said the guy who made DayZ's next thing is going to be the biggest thing, then I'd be like, yeah, sure. Well, of course, sure.
So,
but just by the name alone.
I played a couple hours of it. Nothing crazy, not like XCOM. And I do have some completely outside... Yeah, so wait, let me finish. I saw that it became the most popular game on Twitch.
It did.
It beat League of Legends, which had a 3-year streak on Twitch of the most popular game. And I went, okay, this is clearly not going to go away. Like, this is how I felt when Counter-Strike got big. And I was playing Day of Defeat.
And then your fear of aging kicked in. So you decided to go find out what all the kids were hip to.
Oh, did you see that tweet?
No, I didn't.
Okay, because that was the tweet. I put out a tweet going, all the kids seem to like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Am I old?
Yeah. So how is the PUBG?
PUBG. So I was calling it Pugbees earlier.
Pugbees.
PlayerUnknown.
PUBGs. Yeah.
So it's clearly still early access. That being said, it's pretty polished for an early access game.
Of course it is.
But everybody knows all this stuff. So first thing that happens is that you parachute out of your plane, and I noticed that a problem that happened, which was the end of my first 4 matches, is that everyone else knew how to parachute out of the plane better than me and hit the ground 15 seconds before I did.
Oh.
Which means by the time I landed, someone was literally standing there with a gun and just popped me the instant I gained control, which was like astonishingly brutal start to something like that.
You died before the game started.
Basically.
Yep.
Now, luckily, the game's hyper popular, and the way that its matchmaking is made is that like you just leave the lobby as soon as you get killed, and everybody else has their long game. Yeah. So you just pop into another match like right away.
Right. So you're not forced to sit.
No, hell no, God.
Yeah, okay.
And just so I had to go up and go to YouTube's and internet stuff and like, how do I get out of the plane gooder?
So
the answer is point straight down.
Well, before you get into more detail, I guess my understanding of what this game is to begin with is that you are doing a smaller version of DayZ where you're first person on an island, and as you die, it's a permadeath game, and there's a limited number of weapons, bullets, resources, vehicles, and as you play, the area gets smaller and smaller.
Yes.
Until there's one survivor.
Until there's one survivor.
There's a bunch of games that work like this.
It goes from an 8x8 kilometer map to an area that would be like smaller than most Call of Duty maps at the end. And the death wall is faster than your character.
Is it a wall of death or is it a pit?
It is a wall of death.
Okay.
It's a force field that comes in from the side, and it like poisons you basically whenever you're standing in it.
Okay.
You can live in it for a couple seconds, so you can barely make it through, but okay, look it up. Okay, you have to aim straight down. Okay, try it a couple times. Okay, I made it to a house, picked up a gun. Look, there's a guy. Oh, everyone's better at shooting in this game than me also.
Well, that'll be forever.
Yeah, but this one felt particularly poignant.
Brutal.
And eventually played, I don't know, a while. I ran over some people with some cars. That is by far my most effective weapon. Is that when you are driving and somebody decides to try and kill you, they have to shoot at you. And if they miss or hit you and don't kill you, that car is going to run them the fuck over and they're going to die. It is actually an astonishing amount of fun. Like if you're able to push through that initial burst, like that first 5 minutes of like grabbing things and people are near you and that initial shit fight, the slow ass trek to the center of the map, worried about you're worried about sightlines in a way that you almost never are in games, because there could be a guy like literally on that hill over there just waiting, or some guy in that house. You learn to get freaked out by open doors.
Is there chat?
Yes, and you turn that shit off.
Okay.
You turn that shit off as fast as you possibly can.
And is it true that it's like an average game can last 25 minutes or so?
Average? I wouldn't say so. If you're really good, an average game can last 25. It looks like the end of the game can last 30 to 40. Like if you get all the way to like the top 10.
Yeah.
One of the really nice things, I don't think Vinny mentioned it, but in the upper right corner of the screen, it tells you like how many people are left alive on the map currently. So you will run into a situation where you're walking towards a tiny little town and you hear some massive gun battle erupt, and then you look above and you go and you see the number go down from 57 to 42. And you go, oh, I'm going to go around.
How effective is cowardice?
I want to know that.
I only played one game where I got anywhere, and I got to 22, which is pretty high out of 100. And the reason I got that high is because I did not see a single person the entire trip to the center of the map, because I hid in houses. I hid and crawled and fucking cowarded the fuck out.
That's the way.
And then crossing a tiny little bridge over a flooded area, I just got shot, I guess. And so right now, I could not possibly recommend this game to anybody, because there is an update that is supposedly coming that shows a kill cam. Because right now, there is absolutely no kill cam.
So you just drop dead.
So you just drop dead, and the camera points straight down at your character.
So you don't understand how you died.
I have never understood how I died. Almost every single game I have ever played in this game, I've never seen another player. But that doesn't mean I didn't get fucking shot and killed. It just means that I'm looking ahead, or I'm looking around, and then I hear pop, pop, and my vision goes red, and my character just falls over, and that's it. It is the most frustrating thing ever. And now people who pushed past that have gotten really good. And when I was talking about how I was getting blown up on Twitter, I got what may be the most infuriating response I've seen in modern video games.
Get good?
No. It's a variant of Get Good that is extra infuriating.
Oh, what is it?
This is what you get for coming into the game so late in its life cycle.
But that's not fun. That's
to which my reply
that's
is...
That's too full long of a sentence.
The game hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
It's an early access.
To which the reply is welcome to the world of early access. So, this feels like a problem, because now, like, imagine Street Fighter V came out early access for a year.
We obviously travel from there into fighting games, but really, it doesn't have to be fighting games.
It could be anything.
Anything remotely competitive at all.
And it's like anybody who's willing to put up with the extreme lack of polish on a lot of these things is going to get an enormous skill advantage, and it's super frustrating. It's like, really? I'm supposed to scourge the internet for all these early access games to get on board the one that's hot?
Yep.
It's frustrating, man.
It's weird because it's like, the game's not out yet. It's in early access. Yeah, but 800,000 people are playing it concurrently.
900 now.
So that doesn't even mean anything.
Versus, like, let's say Lawbreakers 300 people.
Now, I'll say one thing about this. This in early access is a better shooter and better multiplayer game than I've played in shooters for quite some time.
That's still a
the core gimmick
Starling
is so compelling and unique that
Battle Royale
everyone's willing to forgive. The most Battle Royale games were fucked up piles of shit.
Yeah, there's a game that's on Xbox preview, but it's been on Steam for a while, called The Culling, which is literally Battle Royale. You're dropped in a tropical island.
Yeah.
And you fight until, and then there's one of those Amazon games. Remember when Amazon, like a year ago, were like, God, what's the one we played? Breakaway. Then there was like a scary one, and then there was another one. There was like fight until there's only one person left. That thing's still not even out. You can't even play that yet. It's gonna be so late to the game.
I remember reading the manga in like the early aughts, and like me and my friends were talking about, we're like,
The Condemned.
How is there no giant battle royale video game that is a million seller? Like huge number
this
thing.
Is a big million seller.
Yeah, it took a decade and a half for it to happen.
Like I think I saw sales data says P-Bugs or Pugbees is the most successful game on a single platform, like period, of this year.
I'd imagine.
And like I guess if anything, it's like it's almost just like a shame that like it's not officially battle royale with the collars and everything.
Something,
because you can have the zones, you can have the same movie rule set or book or manga rule set applied to a video game with the level of weapons and stuff.
The manga rule set of like everyone like gets dropped into an area, keep fighting until there's one person left. Map get like. I would love to play that, but not in a first-person shooter with standard guns and weapons.
Yeah,
I'd want to play Anarchy Reigns like that.
Yeah.
You know,
you want to play
third person for sure.
What was the Suda game that came out? You climb the tower.
Let it die.
You want to let it die.
I'd love to play Let It Die like that. Yeah. Anything really.
So one of the weirder flaws that I discovered in the game, to the point where I felt like I had to look it up, and I did find some information about it, is that the beginning of the match feels physically shittier than later parts of the match.
Weird.
So, like, opening doors, sometimes it just doesn't happen, which is bad. Picking up weapons can be finicky. Like, bullet detection can be somewhat finicky in the early parts of the match.
Okay.
And I was like, what the fuck is that about? So I went on various forums and looked it up. It's like, so this runs on Unreal Engine 4. And apparently, Unreal Engine 4 doesn't perform well latency-wise with 65 or more players. Because it was built with an upper limit of 64, because why would you ever need more than that?
In a game, yeah.
Now, this game has 100.
Yep.
So I'm thinking it's like whenever it dropped down below 64, it actually would just, all of a sudden, latency would just improve. Apparently, PlayerUnknown is talking to like the Boone, what's the
Mike.
Brother Boone, Mike Boone, and people at Unreal, and be like, hey, I need to modify this so it goes up to 100 people or whatever. But like that's a fairly large flaw for a game like that to have. Man. I would personally prefer if the map, like, you just kicked it down to 64 to start and was a little more aggressive about the size of the map, but
large flaw, but also like minor compared to the things that would go wrong usually with having 100 people connected to one fucking game. Mm-hmm. That is a testing nightmare. That if it's functional at all, I'm kind of impressed.
There's a lot of current issues in the game that will be solved with features because they're not bugs, but they cause a bunch of stupid shit to happen because it's early access. So one of the things I read in future updates, they're going to add vaulting, which is, you run towards it and you vault over it like a Battlefield or a Mirror's Edge or whatever. The reason why that's a problem is because there's a shitload of stuff that looks like you can jump over, but it's like 1 or 2 pixels too high, and you super can't jump over it at all, so you're dead. Because you're like, you'll go, those European houses that have like little stone fences all the way around except for the entrance. Like you go in there and you're like, oh no, I need to run away. It's like, I'm actually trapped. I have to leave by the fucking entrance.
Then they got to go with standardized objects because like crates and FPSs mean that box is the height of your player. You can hide behind it completely.
Well, they are those little fences are in fact standardized, but like the vaulting system is. So it's just constant little frustrations of like, oh damn it. So it's like when this is a fully released game, big air quotes, hopefully all those will be in, but as of right now, it's like lots of fun, great idea, but constant small frustrations that, like, I kept playing it, but every time I played it, I was like more frustrated than the time I played it last. Like I came off that just like, oh, so upset.
What's the weapon variety like? Is it really just like a handful of gun types, or is there actually
about
like
15-ish different types of modern firearms? There are melee weapons.
What's the most out there type of weapon you can get? Okay,
because it's silent.
That sucks.
Okay,
that's the most out there weapon.
And then just melee stuff.
Yeah, but I never saw it.
Bats, chains, knives.
I never saw it.
Well, I mean, I saw crowbars on the floor, but Why would you pick up a crowbar in a game?
Yeah, why would you pick up a crowbar, Willie? That's stupid.
Could drop you in like 2 shots with a pistol.
Oh well, whatever. Matt, we are wrong for expecting other. For expecting more choice there, we are wrong.
When you play an N64 multiplayer game, you can go slappers only or melee weapons only.
we expect some dumb Japanese bullshit, and it's not going to happen.
You know what you guys should play? You should play Mount and Blade if that's what you want.
Mount and Blade.
Yeah, it's basically what you're describing, but you have to deal with the fact that it plays like Mount and Blade.
Sure.
And I know there's a lot of Mount and Blade fans out there, but every time I pick it up, I'm like, this controls like absolute trash. It feels bad to play.
What do you mean there's no chain and sickle?
Kusarigama?
Kusarigama.
Or like, Kusari, get out of here.
Kusarigama.
There you go.
So you recommend PUBG's?
It's a little expensive for an early access.
How much is it?
It's like $40.
That's a little expensive.
That's more than anything I've ever heard of for early access.
Now people are going to say that it's only $30. It's like, yeah, but Canada, guys, come on.
None of that $60 multiplayer only bullshit.
Oh God, my brain's in Euro mode.
I check Lawbreaker's numbers every day.
What's the Lawbreak? What's the metrics right now?
Last I checked was yesterday was at 302.
302. That should be a regular podcast feature.
Fliffy B talked about fucking Lawbreakers every single day on his Twitter up until the day the game came out, and then he has stopped. He has shut his fucking mouth.
Listen, it's not. This ain't some multiplayer only $60 bullshit.
No, it's no player $30 bullshit.
Very good. Speaking of players and multiplayer stuff, I played. I played Fridays the 13th.
Okay.